Hello everybody, it's Lorelei from Third Eye with Lorelei, and today is Tuesday and I'm doing a Crystal Corner class today. So it's funny, this week I don't really have a real specific topic just because I was kind of on the wire and thinking to myself like, oh, you know, I'm not really sure I have anything. It was like sometimes it just kind of comes to me, but today it's like, I think I'm just gonna wing it. And so the thing is that I came up with is the random crystals that I have in my house that I'm like, okay, what was this for again? So this is the basically what's in the box Crystal Corner class. So I hope you guys like it. I did actually look up everything to make sure we know what is actually in the box. So I'm really excited to show you guys. So there are a lot of random things in here that I had picked up along the way and was like, ooh, like, what's this one? I'm just gonna buy it and see what happens. So anyway, to begin the whole thing, if you're starting this whole crystal journey, you're gonna wanna pick up some books. And the two really great books that you can use to find the metaphysical properties for different crystals are the Crystals for Beginners book by Karen Fraser, which is awesome. It's very good if you're right at the very beginning of all of this. And then there's also the Crystal Bible by Judy Hall. This one's really good because it goes into more depth about the different crystals and their healing properties and how to use them in everyday practice. So, and this comes in a 3-book series, so it gets like really super intense and in depth. So really great books for you guys to use as you go along this whole process. So let me turn on I went from like typing out all of my notes to now I am using a little notepad thing for this instead, which, you know, is a little bit more green, if you will. So let me see if I can find my emails on here. That would be great. Okay, so I'm going to just begin with Petrified Wood, right? You wouldn't think like, oh yeah, petrified wood, that's like a total crystal or whatever. And it isn't. I mean, it is and it isn't. So it's wood that has basically fossilized itself in a way over many years. I think what I read was petrified wood takes 100 years to get to this state, is when it fuses with quartz and it solidifies into this state. So let me see if I can get this a little bit closer for both the Facebook and the Instagram group to see. So it looks like wood, right? I mean, no, it looks like a rock, basically is what it looks like. But you can see in some of the colorations that it is actually wood, like you see some of like the little bits there. And the polished version of these definitely looks a lot more like actual wood. So, gosh, I'm having an issue here with my thing here. Okay. And so the one thing about petrified wood that's incredible is that it is super, super grounding. And it is a crystal to help you basically release a lot of fears and anxieties about pretty much anything in your life. It is one that helps you transform all of that into one of stillness and one of peace. So when you're in a place of like, you know, anxiety about how things are gonna go, petrified wood is one of those things that kind of brings it all kind of like center so that you can find stillness and find where you're supposed to go in moving forward. Okay, so, and now I can't even connect to the thing, so. Well, you guys, I'm gonna have to wing it because I can't connect to my little thing. So we're gonna see how much I know just on top of my brain of like what I wrote down last night. So, okay, so that's pretty much petrified wood. Okay, it is to really help you ground yourself, and it helps to really change a lot of those negative energies like anxiety, fear about what's to come especially, and transform it into stillness and peace. So that way you can move forward with a better sense of what is really needing to happen and what are your true feelings about the situation. And it really helps. I think it really is a good place for a workplace environment, especially like, you know, if you work in a place where you have like projections and like, especially if there's marketing or that sort of thing, this is a really good thing for you to have. So that way you're not over stressing about certain things or over analyzing, this is a really good stone to ground out a lot of that overthinking and stress and anxiety, and allows you to find your peace about it, so that way you can move forward with more positivity and more of like a realistic viewpoint and feeling about how things are supposed to go. So that is Petrified Wood. The polished version is a little prettier. I'm more drawn to a lot of the raw stuff, just because I kind of feel like after, when you polish it, I feel like some of it, I don't know, that's just my weird thing. Like, I kind of like things just to be in its raw state. I don't know, whatever. Okay, and Zebra Calcite. So Zebra Calcite is one of these crystals that will help you. It's funny because it's sort of like a magnification stone in a way, but it also helps you get in touch with a lot of your own truth. And it's a really interesting stone, and because you can see why it's called Zebra Calcite, because there's a lot of black and white kind of striped striations. It's really beautiful, and I swear there's like a million different types of calcite. And just like quartz, you can find them everywhere. So this is the more raw version. You can see that there's some resin on it to kind of keep everything in place and whatnot. Because sometimes stones can, if like it's in their raw state, they can be a little powdery and whatnot. So this has like a little thing on it to keep it from getting super powdery. But this is Zebra Calcite, and this is an awesome stone to have, especially when like you're moving into a new stage in life and that sort of thing. It kind of helps you stay centered within yourself and knowing why you're doing this and why you're moving into this stage of life, and helps you remember why you're doing the things that you're doing it, okay? And that way you find a little bit more peace in that regard, and that way you're not like kind of losing your sight on what is really supposed to be happening, okay? So this is what I'm remembering from Zebra Calcite, so forgive me, I had like this whole paragraph written out, but you know what? Life happens, and then you can't get into your little notebook, so. But this is Zebra Calcite. It's amazing. I had no idea why I picked this up, and then, now I got to realize why, because we're all in that we're always, especially in this last couple of like months, even the year, I feel like a lot of new things have been coming into our lives and making things stir up and whatnot. And so this is a really great stone to help you realize, well, you're still you're going to be okay. And as you move forward into this new thing, you're still going to be you, and it's going to be all right. Okay, so one thing that I brought today that for some reason, I woke up this morning and something was telling me I needed to bring Unikite. So I brought it, and I'm going to talk about it today because somebody out there needs to know a little bit more about Unikite. So this is Unikite. It's a small piece. So I'm gonna go Facebook and then Instagram. So as you can see, it's this really beautiful green color, and then there's like this little pink inclusion. So here's my Instagram group. So green, see all the really pretty green, and then boop, there's some pink. Like, what's it doing there? So the one thing that I gleaned from Unikite is that if you are familiar with your chakra centers, and by now if you've been watching this Crystal Corner class from like the beginning to now, you should have a pretty good understanding of like the different chakral centers. So green is associated with your heart center, okay? And what's interesting is that right above, in between your throat and then your heart, is another chakral center. It's very small, but it's your higher heart, and that is associated with the color pink. And I was reading a little bit into it, and like pink is actually historically associated with any baby. So I know that sounds weird. It's like, well, pink is for girls and blue is for boys, but actually that was changed more recently in the last like century, because initially pink was associated with any baby, regardless of gender. And so pink is associated with innocence, and also, funny enough, if you give pink flowers to somebody, its symbolism is behind like not really romantic or not really intimate love. So you would give it to like a best friend or a family member, but there's like a love relationship that's more based in without physicality. So like there isn't a sexual component. So that was what pink flowers would represent. So pink is kind of a innocent sort of love, and it's in a way sort of immature. So if you know what I mean, because it's kind of based on like newness and being young and that sort of thing. So that would be what pink represents. And green is representative of like abundance and health and healing. And it also represents a lot of growth, you know, because if you think of what green is, apart from money and that sort of thing, is, you know, growth in nature. So green leaves, green grass, those sort of things. So health and prosperity, but also growth in every respect. And so it's interesting that the heart center is this color, because this is what we draw to it, right? We draw in health, we draw in abundance, we draw in growth and love in this area. And then we have this pink center, and so it's a balance. So green is very representative of a more rounded out, healthy version of love that we give and take. But then this pink higher center is more representative of this really innocent self-love that we have towards ourselves. And so this amalgamation creates a very well-centered balance, if you will. So Unikite to me represents both of those centers in a really meaningful way, in which it is a whole heart healing stone. It's very gentle, it's very calming, and so when you have it, it helps you to get back to where you need to be with yourself and how you give and receive love with others. So especially if you're going through maybe some kind of a breakup, or maybe there's some sort of issue that you have with a friend or a family member, Unikite is really good about helping you remember why you care about them and why and how you can care for yourself, because this is all representing your heart center. So I don't know why this needed to come up today, but if this is you, please let me know if you're like, oh, I needed to hear that today, because that's like a really good validation for me, just because I woke up thinking I need to bring Unikite today. So here we are. So if you have any questions about this, please let me know, just because spirit guides were hollering at me this morning to bring and talk about Unikite. So anyway, it's also very grounding too, just because I feel like the green, since it's associated with earth colors and growth, it helps you ground things out really, really gently, as opposed to like the black and red stones, which really kind of get whatever it is that you need to let go of, and it just grounds it out more powerfully, and it's also very protective. Green is more protective of this area, but it also helps you to ground out very gently. Okay, so that is Unikite. And so, okay, the next one I wanted to talk about is this one I picked up and I didn't know why. And this is Orchid Calcite, another calcite, you guys. So I'm gonna go Facebook and then Instagram. So this is Orchid Calcite. Hopefully you guys can see it from the glare, but it's this really beautiful orange color, and it has like these little speckles of white. You see, you guys? It's really, really pretty. And again, if you know your chakra centers, you know that orange is representative of your sacral area, right? So orange calcite is going to really help balance and heal this very sacred area, the seat of femininity, the seat of water, of flow, and of sexuality, and of manifestation, especially your personal manifestation. So it is one that is created within, if you will. So orange calcite is going to help get that area really moving and get it flowing in a way that's very peaceful and harmonious for you. And it also helps you with connecting with what it is that you want to see manifested in your life, starting here. So this could be creating something for yourself or with yourself. This could be connecting with something apart from that you kind of set apart from yourself maybe years ago. This is a great way to get in contact with that again. So orange calcite is it's very vibrant, and it also is very sparkly. It makes you feel more alive. So orange calcite is amazing, and you should pick it up, because I didn't know why I picked it up, and it was amazing to find the little validations and synchronicities into why we do the things that we do, especially picking up random crystals at the crystal shop and going, ooh, I liked that. Well, let's find out why. And now we know why, right? At least for me anyway. Okay, so that's orange calcite. Now this one, I actually did a podcast episode on this one. And if you haven't listened to my podcast, please go and look for this one. This is the podcast on Cinebar. So I think I did this like a year ago, this crystal. So Cinebar is really interesting because it looks like it has this sort of, again, Facebook and then Instagram. It has like this almost like granite looking rock, and then it has white looking quartz, and then it has these beautiful red speckles. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay, so here's my Instagram people. Okay, so there's the granite, and then there's the white, and then you see the little red, like these really deep, beautiful red colors. And in Persia, they used to call this dragon's blood, as opposed to just cinnabar. So cinnabar is one of those stones of change and of manifestation. And for some reason, I am always drawn to those types of stones. Like I'm always wearing, my moldavite, I'm always having my galena nearby. I'm always having, my, what's the other one? My purple one, my caroite nearby. There are things, all of the stones that I have, I'm just kind of like drawn towards the ones that are very conducive of change and bringing forth change in your life in a rapid sense. So cinnabar is actually one of those. It helps bring forth the manifestations that need to occur in your life. And I feel like the red inclusions help you realize this in a really grounded way. So it's one that will help you stay organized in what you need to do and keep yourself feeling like you're still in your body, you're able to move forward in these ways without feeling like you're out of your mind or out of your body and that sort of thing. So cinnabar helps you move forward in that progression, but helps you stay grounded in the reason as to why you're going to be doing this thing, okay? So it brings forth change, but it also helps you realize, okay, this is the reason why I'm doing it, and it's okay. All right, so I feel like there's kind of a pattern with all of the stones that I selected for you guys today. This is the reason why I picked these stones, because I clearly have a lot of change that I want to bring forward in my life. So hopefully you guys feel that way too. And so that's pretty much it. It was a really short class. Just because I kind of wanted to do like a more brief one and leave it open to anybody that has any questions or anything like that. But those are the stones that I picked out today. It's sort of random and on the fly, but that's what's in the box. That's what's in the box, you guys. I have petrified wood, zebra calcite, orange calcite, unikite, and cinnabar. So one thing to note about cinnabar is that you don't want to make a gem elixir out of it. And if you're new to this and you don't know what a gem elixir is, I've said it a couple of times, but basically it's when you put the gem or the crystal or stone in water and you infuse it with celestial energy, so like sunshine or moonlight, and you allow the essence or the energy of the stone to infuse the water. Cinnabar, I think, is one of those things that you shouldn't do that with, or if you if you want to make a gem elixir out of it, put it in a different container and then put it in the water, so that way, because I feel like there's some mercury elements to it that could be kind of harmful. So put it in something before you put it in the water, just to be safe, okay? So yeah, I think that's one thing I wanted to include, just in case you're really interested in making gem elixirs and that sort of thing, okay? All right, you guys, that's pretty much it. So I hope that you enjoyed it. It's a lot shorter crystal class today. This is what happens when the notes don't load on your little iPad thing. So whatever, no big deal. I still remember the gist of most of it. If you have any questions, slide into my DMs on Instagram or on Facebook. Ask me anything. I'm here. I love to talk to you guys all about all the things, especially with crystals or anything like that. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask. My podcast is Third Eye with Lorelei, so you can watch. I talk about a whole bunch of different crystals in depth, and I have lots of metaphysical topics and all the things, so check it out. Let me know what you like. And yeah, just talk to me, guys. I love all of you. So anyway, that's pretty much it for today. Catch me not next week, but the week after on a Tuesday. and I'll be here talking about more crystals, and I promise there'll be a more interesting topic today. But I kind of liked what's in the box. That's kind of cool, right? I don't know, whatever. All right, you guys, I love you all. Love and light. I will talk to you later.